morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi, Jonathan Chinedu from Alo province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct. Today is the 3rd day of December 2023. Therefore, without taking any time, the long-awaited time has come. I will hand over the platform to the head of the Directorate of Taste of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Chika Edoziem, in order to address Biafrans and lovers of freedom that are listening from all over the world. Mazi, you are welcome. The platform is yours.
Thank you, Mazi, Jonathan. Good evening, great Biafrans. Good afternoon, good morning, and good night to all of you, depending on your time zone this very evening. And good evening as well to the friends and supporters of the indigenous people of Biafra worldwide. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem, and I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in all the province of Biafra land. By the grace of Chukwu from Ihe, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra as the head of Directorate of State. I know that it's been a while that I addressed the Biafran people. It is a strategic plan by the leadership, and it is the reason is bringing, as we had hoped, the positive results that we envisaged. But tonight, it is very imperative and very important that I address the Biafran people and, of course, address the world community. But before I go on, let me, from the deepest part of my heart, commend this great, wonderful family, the IPOB worldwide family. I want to commend you excellently because you have shown that the freedom of the people of Biafra is a project that we cannot retreat or surrender from. You have exhibited, irrespective of the challenges that we have faced, you have exhibited a very, very serious commitment, dedication to this very cause. And our cause, as we all know, is a just cause. The demand of the Biafran people for a referendum so that they can decide and determine their fate as a people, as Biafrans. I want to not only commend you tonight, 2 years and almost 6 months, that the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra was kidnapped in Kenya, tortured almost to death, and then extraordinarily rendition to the zoo called Nigeria. 2 years and 6 months. The enemy had thought that without the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra being around, that it will be a walkover for them to destroy this very movement. But I am delighted to tell the wonderful Biafran family, the wonderful IPOB family worldwide, that because of you, wherever you may be tonight, whether in the ground zero homeland of Biafra or in the diaspora, it is because of you that we have not been and cannot be destroyed by the enemy, the Nigerian establishment, and those who align with them, whether within us or in the international community. Today, this month as well, this month makes it the third year that Nnamdi Kanu set up the Eastern Security Network, a network of dedicated hardcore Biafran people who have given their life for the protection of our homeland. As we celebrate this third anniversary, I want to call on all of you to continue on the path of supporting ESN. The result of their presence in our land cannot be quantified. I lack words to actually describe the effect of their presence in our land. I was today watching one program, well, not a program, but a video of a woman. When you see the type, the freshness of the tomatoes that she and her husband probably were able to harvest in Biafra land, in Enugu, it simply that very video simply makes a lie the narrative that Biafra land cannot produce and Biafran people cannot produce what they can eat. If you can remember, Biafrans, in one of my last address to the Biafran people, I stressed on the need for us to go back to the land. Go back to the land, that is, go back to farming. Because our land is a blessed land. Our land, there is nothing you put in the land of Biafra as a farming seed or root without it coming up, germinating, and then producing great produce. That this woman and people like her, many people, many other people like her, have been able to go to the farm, that they have had the peace to be able to cultivate their farms without we seeing on the social media people who were killed, disemboweled, cut into pieces, and telling us, what can you do? This was what Mazi and Kanu saw. And we knew where we were going, actually. That was why the setting up of ESN was very imperative. ESN, for those who do not know, was set up to safeguard the land, the farmland, the forests of Biafrans or Biafra land against marauding terrorist headsmen. That is why ESN was set up. And they have done an exceedingly good work at that job that they were given to do in Biafra land. And I say again with all pride that that is the reason why people could now go to their farms, cultivate their farmlands, and at the time of harvest, they will go and harvest the fruit of their labor. Taking this into account, I am calling on all of you tonight, Biafrans, the sympathizers to the Biafran cause, the supporters and friends of Biafra, that for our own existence, that so that the Biafran people, we do not depend on what is imported from another part of the zoo down to our land. Because one of the main reasons, I beg that people should be kind of patient tonight, because this broadcast is not the usual kind of broadcast. One of the reasons why marauding terrorist herdsmen were sent into our land was that by the time they have finished what they were sent to do, nobody will go to farm in our land, and then we will be dependent upon the food stuff that will be sent down from maybe from the north or from the west or from any other place. And if you live, and I can remember as well saying that the ensuring that Biafra land is sustained itself food-wise is a national security issue for us. And I gave an example at that time that most of these European countries, you see, they support their farmers, they subsidize them, and because they know that a nation can never depend on an outsider or any outsider, for that matter, for what they eat and what they consume. The enemy wanted us to depend on them for what we eat, so that at the snap of a finger, they can do to us what they did to our fathers in 1966 to 1970. They will starve us to death. But this generation, thanks to Chukwu and of course the ancestors of Biafrans, we already know what their plans were. And of course, we decided that we would not make that mistake that was made in the 60s. Why am I telling you all this? Why I'm telling you all this is that for all of you, even those who do not understand, who may even have any disagreement with the Biafran cause, if you are a Biafran, if you are an Igbo person, if you are an Ibibio man, Efik man, Ijo man, just name it, you will understand that the setting up of ESN, if they had not been set up when they were set up in 2020, by now, your land will have been overrun. These men, they sleep in the forest, no comfort, no bed, and no comfort of whatever measure. They sleep in the forest to ensure that women and men and our mothers and elderly, they go to their farms and cultivate their farmlands and then harvest it at the appropriate time. They must be supported. The ESN must be supported, because the work that is before us is enormous. And we have sworn an oath that for us it is Biafra or nothing. On this 3rd anniversary of the Eastern Security Network, there should be and there shall not be anyone saying I'm tired of supporting. He cannot be tired of supporting, because we have not gotten to the destination that we have set out to get to, which is an independent, free, and sovereign Biafra nation. To our international friends, when the zoo tell you that we have militia or whatever they will call their name, terrorizing, attacking their security forces and the rest of it, it's a lie. ESN was not sent or was not set up to engage the Nigerian military or their security apparatus. No, ESN was set up primarily to ensure that the jihadists, that the Fulani herdsmen, the terrorists masquerading as herdsmen who were sent in their numbers into our territory to stop our people from going to their farms. That was why ESN was set up. And I can tell you tonight that these men and women, who have abandoned their families and whatever comfort that exists in the zoo, sacrificing and dedicating their life for the benefit of their people. Sacrifice. That is one of the fundamental principles of IPOB, because even apart from the ESN, the IPOB family is a voluntary family. Every support that we have received from IPOB family, these are voluntary support. Those of you who are on the sideline, the time to support these young men and women to protect your land is now. There shall no longer be any prevarication or let me see what will happen. Now is the time to support them. From ESN, I move on to the continued detention of that man who set up the Eastern Security Network, the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, 2 years and 6 months. And also, I want our international friends to pay attention tonight. 2 years and 6 months. I'm just talking about now the time he was kidnapped. Nigeria kidnapped him in collaboration with the British MI6 and committing an international crime, tortured him almost to death. As we know, the effect or the result of that torture they gave to him in Kenya was that he has continued to have very, very health issues with one of his ears. They almost wanted to make him not to hear anymore. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been continuously and constantly harassed, detained, maligned by the Nigerian system since 2015 to 2015. Now count it up to 2023. How many years is that? 8 years. One man has become, the zoo have nothing else to do other than to harass this man wherever they may find him. What is his crime? I'm asking the international community. What, and of course, our friends listening, what is the crime of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that self-determination of his people is a right. It is not a word that he coined by himself. It is not something that he formulated by himself. This is an internationally accepted, recognized, and enshrined, guaranteed right to indigenous people of Biafra. Is the indigenous people of Biafra, I'm asking this question now, maybe it's rhetorical, but I'm asking it. People must listen. Is the indigenous people of Biafra, or are they different from what the UN and AU charters dealing on the rights of the indigenous people of Biafra? Are the indigenous people of Biafra not envisaged to be entitled to those rights? Are we different? That for these long, notwithstanding the genocide that was committed on our people, 1966 to 1970, going back the program that were part of it, notwithstanding this horrendous, barbaric, inhuman act that our people suffered at the hand of Nigeria, the international community, they have remained unconcerned. I am laying a foundation for what is to come, so that tomorrow nobody will say they did not know. And please, Mazi Jonathan, this broadcast, after tonight, it must be circulated so that those who did not have the opportunity to listen, they will be availed of the same message. Because 2024 will be a different ball game. It will be a completely different ball game. Since the international community has left us to our own fate, since we have written, we have taught, we've visited many of these organizations, our case will always be pushed under the table. And cases that do not measure in horrific nature to what happened to us will be magnified. They have left us to our fate. So the background I'm laying tonight is that 2024 maybe will be different, very, very different. So that nobody will say, IPOB, you have come again, or you have started again, or where is this all coming from? It is all coming from the time when our people were criminally merged with other nations and called a trading post for the British. And from trading posts, you know, they now give you whatever they call a paper independence. And still, they are in charge of your land. You have no independence as in true word of the word, independent. There is nothing like independence in the zoo. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention for the past 2.5 years. Irrespective of the fact, the courts have set this man free. The courts, the appeal court of the zoo had said this man has no case to answer. He was discharged and acquitted. Acquitted. In law, that means he had no case to answer. But the Nigerian government, no, they are not happy with that. They continue to incarcerate this man. They continue to torture him physically and psychologically and mentally. They continued, and the world kept quiet. The British government, whose official citizenship Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has. Well, of course, it's not as if we're expecting much, but I want to make a little point here. The British government, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. The British government was involved in his kidnap. They were involved in his extraordinary nation. A country as powerful as Britain. It's not a joke. As powerful as Britain, except they're telling us they're no longer as powerful as they are. For 2.5 years, your citizen was kidnapped, tortured, still being tortured, still being in whatever inhuman manner, still being treated. And you'll be playing games with the life of this young man. I was asking myself, how can even the British government come to the rescue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when the establishment itself was willing to throw one of their sons under the bus because he had the temerity to marry a woman that is not Caucasian, that has African blood in her. That is why the young man they call Prince Harry is suffering, because he has a black woman as a spouse. Now these people can imagine what they are doing to their own son. I want our people not to be emotional about these things. We have to be very, very reasonable. You know, in law we say when you make a law or a judgment, the judges will ask, how will a reasonable man on the street think about this particular law or this particular situation? Emotions is okay, or emotions are okay, sure. But don't throw away your common sense. Don't throw away that very common sense that nobody can give it to you. That is why the law says, what can a reasonable man think of a particular situation when you present such a situation to him? What do you make of this situation? You a reasonable person on the street, that if the British government didn't find it, in fact, if they thought it necessary to throw their own prince under the bus for this very reason. Imagine Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is coming to challenge the status quo, who is saying that Biafra must be free so that the stealing of our resources by Britain must stop. This very part of my broadcast is addressed to the international community, to our friends and supporters in the international world. And when they hear tomorrow that we have closed all channels of communication with Nigeria, no more negotiation and every other thing that comes with it, they must not ask us, why are we doing this? We have for the past 50 years been requesting for an opportunity for the Biafran people as human beings that we are. We are not less human being than any other person, whether Caucasian or Asian or white or black or green or red. The Biafran people, we have the same right as every other person. The British people, I was reading the other day, the new president of Argentina, when he was making part of his campaign election campaign, he made the return of Falkland Island to the Argentines as part of his agenda. The British came up and said that the Falkland people have right to self-determination. Are you guys listening? Falkland, they have a right to self-determination, and that by that right of self-determination, they have done a referendum to remain outside of Argentina. What about the Biafran people? Do we not have that right of self-determination? And that was why I was asking the question, whether what was envisaged by the United Nations Charter on the rights of the indigenous people, whether it did not envisage that the Biafran people will also have the same equal right. But let's assume that the United Nations Charter does not envisage that Biafran people will exercise such right. What about the African Union? African Union that also has the right, the charter dealing with the rights of indigenous people. African Union I'm talking about now, no longer the United Nations. African Union that covers the whole of Africa. Are they also telling us that we as Biafrans, even though we're African, we are not entitled to the rights that is contained in that charter for the rights of the indigenous people? This has been our case for the past 12, 13 years. I'm talking about IPOB now. But for the past 50 years, this has been our case. We have peacefully, we have presented this matter in any manner that people can peaceably present a matter. But we have been told to go to hell. We have been told to go to hell. Biafrans, the question is, are you willing to go to hell? Now, put the incarceration of Mazi and Kanu on one side. And now look at what is going on in Lagos State. In Lagos State, I'm searching for the right word, but the ethnic profiling that has become the agenda of the federal government of the zoo, headed by Tinubu, and the state governor of Lagos State called Sanwo-Olu. The ethnic profiling, if you go and look at the destruction of the properties that are that they are carrying out in Lagos State, you will see. It's not. These places are not. What did they call it again? It's not like Morocco where you have slums. These are not slums. These are houses, mansions that many of them can never ever dream of ever building in their life. But these mansions are not even 20 years mansions. These are very, very new mansions that young Igbos, young Biafrans have toiled day and night, made the money in their businesses, and build a home for themselves. These are the properties that the Lagos state government are destroying. The wife of Tinubu, I can't remember the year, but I think the video is still online, where she was jubilating. A woman, my goodness me, she was actually saying that they will take over the property of the Igbos. You want to take over a property that you did not build. You want to take over a property of somebody that is not related to you, is not connected to you. But You just want to take it over. What kind of wickedness is that? What kind of inhumanity is that? What kind of envy and jealousy is that? Again, the government of Lagos State will tell you these houses were built without the proper documentation. Okay, for argument's sake, let's even assume they were built without the proper documentation. What about the markets? The markets of these Igbo people, the markets that they are maybe 90% in 90% in Mayheit, the Germans will say. I'm looking for the English word. They are 90% more than any other person. They have the majority. These markets, they have destroyed them and redestroyed them and set many of them ablaze. Many have been set ablaze, and these young men, these Igbo people, will still, go back, clean up the debris, clean up the debris and rebuild. After some years, they will go again and then set it ablaze again. I'm asking now, if you say that the houses are built, they are not built with proper documentation, what about the markets? Why do you want to destroy? And it is not only that there are no other markets that has majority of other nations in Lagos State. The Hausas, they have the Hausa market where they bring their produce from the north. Have you set it ablaze? And these places are touches. We go there, you see. They have never destroyed them, but they have continuously embarked upon this hatred. And when people talk, they will say, how did they describe it? Hate speech. What? How can you describe hate speech when you are deliberately ethnic profiling a nation of people and destroying their properties, their way of life, their means of livelihood? What else can be more hateful than this very act? I am telling the Yoruba people, you see, don't make us go back to 1970. This Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that Chinedu is holding now, he was the one who called Biafrans and said, stop the antagonization with the Yoruba people. Even if they antagonize you, leave them. And we listened because we know he had the reason why he's giving us that instruction, that order. He even set up a forum where some of the Yoruba people, I was in one of those forums. I wasn't there. I was there. Where we could be interacting in order to make sure that there is constant communication between these two nations. Now, found himself, whichever way he did, it's none of my business. But he has found himself in the saddle of governance. What concerns him and his wife and Sanwo-Olu that he put in place is to destroy Igbo people's property. Why I'm saying this is that the Yoruba must, our people say that when one finger, dips itself in an oil, it will affect the rest of it. This hatred, I said, don't let us think back, because the agenda of people of the West, the Yoruba people, has always been to see how they can economically emasculate the Biafran people. But you can't do that. You people do not have what it takes to do that. Irrespective of your jealousy and whatever, you cannot stop the Biafran people from becoming what their destiny has said they will become. What you will only achieve doing is to create an enmity between the two nations that will last hundreds of years, if not 1,000 years. That is why I'm calling and asking the Yoruba people to call their people, their sons, to order. Sanwo-Olu must be called to order, and Tinubu must be called to order. They must cease from destroying the properties of Igbos in Lagos State. I want to tell you something. What is the problem that you see that for you, Igbos are conglomerating in one area and making it an area that belongs to the Igbo? Wow, did they steal the land? Those lands they bought, they paid the required fees before they could even, put one block on that land. Who collected those money? Apart from the money that the communities that have the land will collect. The Lagos state government collected part of these monies for whatever they could, because they have so many agencies. Once you want to build a house, they will call and tell you, do you have permission? If you say you don't have permission, then you must get the permission. So why I'm saying this is that the Igbos that have land in Lagos State, they have the proper permission, they have the proper document. The government is aware that this land is has been bought, is about to be constructed upon, is about to be developed. But no, they want to eat their cake and have. They will collect the money from the Igbo people. Let them construct their house. After constructing these mansions, these beautiful houses, you have no humanity in you. You carry one useless baka, or what they call bulldozer. One bulldozer, something that somebody suffered for years. In a twinkling of an eye, you go down and you bring it down, and you call yourself a government. You will pat yourself on the back that you have done well. The Yoruba must listen tonight. The destruction of Igbo property must cease, must stop in Lagos State. What they are doing, when they finish in Lagos, the other cities and other states will take a cue from them, and then it will be the story repeating itself. I am so touched, but I don't want to be angry, because anger is a negative energy. It will becloud our sense of reason. But I am touched when I see these houses, how they are being destroyed. They do not only destroy the houses that these people have built, they go to where they make the money, where they suffer day and night. In the morning, those of us who spend some time in Lagos before we left those places, that area, you see these young men. 5 a.m. they have woken up. 5 in the morning. 6 in the morning, they are waking up, they are going to their shops. They will be there until the evening, toiling. And when they have finished all this toil, and then they will come and, try to build a house to have some rest of mind. You will be envious of that toil that they have put into building that house. And you go and use one baka, one bulldozer, and destroy it. I ask myself again, where is the humanity of these people that call themselves, this man that calls himself Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu? Where is your humanity? Are you humans at all? When you see this thing, do you sleep well? I am not sermonizing here tonight. I am laying a foundation for the world to know, and for them to understand that it is enough for us. Enough for us. For the fact that those who are supposed to speak for us are not speaking for us does not mean that we cannot stand and speak for ourselves. This brings me to the Ohaneze Igbo and the World Igbo Congress, 2 very useless organizations that I have ever seen in my life. Two very, very useless organizations. You call yourself Ohaneze Ndigbo. What are you Ohaneze? What Ndigbo are you Ohaneze? And you say you are what? What Igbo are you congressing? That your son has been in detention in, my goodness me, 2.5 years. You have not what it takes to bring him out. How can you come and stand and say you are the leaders of Ohaneze and Igbo and that you are what Igbo Congress is protecting the interests of Igbo? How can you do that? The properties of your people are being destroyed in Lagos State. You are there. Those in World Igbo Congress, they are riffraffs, idiots. In fact, they are idiots. They are only there to welcome one useless governor and hoping that they will be given appointments in the zoo, in the government. That is all they know what to do. They do not have the mettle. Actually, they do not want to even see Nnamdi Kanu come out. I cry for the Igbo nation. I cry for the Igbo nation that no one can stand anymore. Ohaneze and Igbo is a bunch of men that do not know what, in fact, they do not know the history that brought Ohaneze and Igbo to being. I'll tell them tonight. They do not know. They do not know because the present one, Emmanuel Iwayang, is the person hobnobbing with the vampire in Imo State. Who appointed Iwayang as Ohaneze and Igbo president? Hopeless those of them, the Supreme Court administrator in Imo State, the murderer, the person who was given the contract to come and kill his people. He's the one who appointed Emmanuel Iwayang to be Ohaneze the president, and that is why they have no interest in Nnamdi Kanu coming out, because the vampire, the bloodsucker that is inside the council house have no interest. He have no interest in Nnamdi Kanu coming out. He have no interest in speaking for the Igbos in Lagos whose lives are being destroyed, whose means of livelihood are being destroyed, whose homes are being destroyed. He cannot speak. It's not part of the agenda that they gave to him. Now listen, Ohaneze and Igbo, I'll tell you, because before Ohaneze and Igbo become what it has become today, there was a history. It started with Lagos Igbo Union. Lagos Igbo Union, in the same Lagos, this same Lagos that the Lagos people, the Sanwo-Olu wasn't born at that time. He wasn't born. Tinubu himself, I don't know if he was born. 1930. Lagos Igbo Union, excuse me, I have some water. Lagos Igbo Union was established as far back as 1930. And of course, it's not only that they set it up at that time to welcome a worthy son who was returning after finishing his sojourn abroad, Dr. Kanu. After that process, the Lagos Igbo Union metamorphosed into the Igbo Federation Union when they began to include other parts of Igbos in the heartland of Igbo to become, because if you want to expand that union, then the name change became necessary, and it became Igbo Federation Union. From the Igbo Federation Union, in 1948, the most powerful of all of them was born, the Igbo State Union. The Igbo State Union was birthed in, listen very well, not in Enugu, not in Owerri, not in Abia or in Aba or Umahia. The Igbo State Unions were birthed in Igwe Ocha, of all places. Igwe Ocha in 1948. When people begin to talk nonsense about Igwe Ocha or whatever, I laugh at them. They don't know their history. But that is for another day. Now, the Igbo State Union was so powerful at that time that it became a threat. Not, in fact, a threat to the then colonial master, because this is where you have what the Igbo call unity of purpose. They were set up with Dr. Nnamdi as his first president. But the major reason they were stopped is to ensure that the interest of the Igbos, wherever they may be found, is protected. After Azikiwe, another very, very worthy son of Igbo land, Chief J.C.O.B., took over as the president when Azikiwe became much interested in the Nigerian project. And when I said the most powerful of them all, at the time Igbo Union was set up, when Igbo speak, oh my goodness, then they have spoken at that time. And the British did not like that. When the program began in the north, the program of Ndibo began in the north in 1966. Respected Igbo sons came together to form what is called the Igbo National Assembly. The Igbo Union, Igbo State Union was banned, more or less. But after the war, or it became redundant, after the war, before the war began in 1966, they transformed the former Igbo State Union to become the Igbo National Assembly. This was also banned by the military at that time because they were threatened. They were threatened for the simple reason because they feared that it will promote Igbo separatism. They should not be afraid anymore because, well, we are not pursuing Igbo separatism, but that thing they want to prevent will eventually come to be, and it must come to pass. The Biafra restoration is a project that must be, and it must come to pass. So their fear was actually very, very, it doesn't make any sense because if you had let those people be, probably things would have been different, but that's by the way. Now, Igbo National Assembly was set up, was bound by the military because they feared, and that fear, as they believe, they want, that is for them. The Igbo Forum was the precursor or the predecessor to this present Ohaneze and Igbo. I hope you people are putting this down because you need this history to understand how Ohaneze and Igbo have become in fact useless, more than useless. More than useless. From the moment the men of what joined our ancestors, Ohaneze and Igbo became a tool in the hands of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria to do as it pleased. The Igbo Forum, as I said, was a predecessor of the present Ohaneze that we know. However, this Igbo Forum, before it became Ohaneze Igbo, It had men of integrity as leaders whose singular motivation, whose singular driving force is the defense and protection of Igbo interests, Igbo people, and Igbo land. When I talk about Igbo here, I'm using Igbo in generic form, as it encompasses every part of the former eastern region of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. You have people, respected men, as the leaders of these forums, like Dr. Kanu. You have Professor Ben Wabese. You have Dr. Michael Ihe Onukara, popularly called M.I. Obara. You have the best of all the poets you can ever think about, Dr. Pius Okibo. You have Chief Jerome Udoji. You have Chief Dennis Osadebe. These men had the interest of their people, and when they speak, they maintain their stand. When they come out to speak on behalf of their people, it does not matter. It is the interest of their people that comes at the forefront. And that is how it has to be. Because the world politics is run on interest. America cannot defend your interests and jeopardizing their own interests, as well as Britain. So, why did Ohaneze now become the sissy that they have become? Because when Igbo Forum was in place, even M.I. Obara, who was the then premier of the Eastern region, he was a member of the Igbo Forum, and he will take order from the person who is in charge of the Igbo Forum. He's not there to go there and give them order. He's just an ordinary member when he comes to the Igbo Forum. When he goes to the government, of course he's in charge. But these men that call themselves men, who now hide under the wrapper of their wives and allow their children, governors, to dictate to them, if the interests of the governors are not protected, then they will not, the Ohaneze and Igbo cannot, in fact, they can and they will do nothing. They will do nothing. That is the reason, even when Onyendu asked us to give these elders an opportunity, to give them benefit of that, we gave them 2 years and 6 months. We have given you the opportunity, but you have been very, very deceptive to yourself. In fact, you've been lying to yourself. Let me put it that way. You've been lying to yourself, thinking that you're lying to the Biafra. You don't know we know all this. We've been watching you, and we have said 2024 will be different ball game altogether. It will be a different ball game. Biafrans all over the world, when you have listened to this, ask yourself, without emotions again, as a reasonable man, what is the way forward? As a reasonable man, how can Ohaneze come out tomorrow and say that they are Ohaneze and Igbo, they want to protect Igbo's interests in where? Can you believe them? World Igbo Congress, they are there in Lagos. Onyendu went to World Igbo Congress when before the ESM was even formed. He went to them. He told them what is coming. They laughed at him. They said, "This you're this small boy. What are you? Do you want to bring war? The war is on their doorstep. They don't come home to Igbo land because they have all run away. Is it not shameful? Shame to all of them. But the youths, we say, if our elders have refused to do what is needful, the youths will take the bull by the horn. IPOB was set up as a peaceful movement. We have remained peaceful. The zoo government of Nigeria have continued to instigate crime in our land, terror in our land, kidnappings through their military terrorist terrorists in army uniform and military uniform and police uniform and every other security apparatus in Nigeria, they are all in Biafra land. They are all in Igbo land. They are all in our cities and our villages and towns. What are they there? What are they looking for there? When Boko Haram is in the north, why are they in our land? They are there with the hope that they will finish up what their forebears started. Those who were part of the massacre of Biafrans, of the genocide against Biafrans, two of them are still remaining. Obasanjo and what is his name again? Gowan. They played a major role in this. Obasanjo's hand is rippling in the blood of Biafrans. Gowan's hand is dripping in blood of, and I don't know the Amaram plan. Sorry if I move into Igbo. I don't know the plan to cook it out for them. But my prayer is that they will live 1-2 more years and see what this generation will do to the zoo. 1-2 more years, they should live and see what we will do to them. And to those who call themselves our elders, that are the worst set of elders that one can ever wish for himself. These people, I don't know. I ask this question: what is the way forward? And IPOB do not do anything without having a plan of the way forward. First of all, this is December. Our people will be moving in their numbers down to our villages and towns and cities in Biafra land. And you will notice, those in Biafra land noticed, the international community listening again, friends and supporters of Biafra, please pay attention. The military, the police, the custom, the EFCC, the what do you call them? The those who are at the borders, immigration and the rest of them, they all have roadblocks in Biafra land. You'll be asking yourself, well, is that a joke? It's not a joke. It is the truth. Go maybe a kilometer apart. If you don't see the army, you see the police. If you don't see the police, you see the road safety. If you don't see the road safety, you see EFCC. If you don't see EFCC, you see immigration and the national defense. What did they call them? The civil defense and the rest of it. You see all 1 kilometer apart. What are they doing there? Extortion. Extortion. Extortion of the highest order. Inter-Society wrote a report sometime last year. These people are extorting on a regular basis, on a daily basis, billions of dollars. I'm not talking about Naira. Naira is a worthless toilet paper. Toilet paper that we buy here is even more has more worth than Naira. These people extort billions of dollars from our people, those who are genuinely going about their normal businesses. The transporters, you will, oh my goodness. In one road, if you're traveling from Onitsha to Owerri, and you will see that you will be paying your toll gate to these separate roadblocks that these Jews have set up there. Are you telling me that the Army Chief of Staff does not know that his boys are on the road, harassing our people, extorting our people? Are you telling me that Inspector General of Police does not know that his people are on the road in Biafra land, extorting and harassing and killing our people? Are you telling me that the other security agencies did not know? If they do not know that these people are there, then they are illegal. If they are illegal, we will deal with them as illegal roadblocks. But if they are not illegal, the Inspector General of Police and the Chief of Army Staff must withdraw these men on our roadblock so that our people who are coming home must come home and enjoy their Christmas without any form of intimidation, harassment, in any manner. People whose houses are being destroyed in Lagos. The Inspector General of Police is a Yoruba man. The Army Chief is probably a Yoruba man. You people are destroying their houses in Lagos, their means of living in Lagos. They want to come home to see if they can, for a moment, have some peace. And you will extort them from Lagos until they enter their father's compound. The Inspector General of Police, the Army Chief of Staff, the Customs, the EFCC, whatever you call yourself, please, tonight, the 3rd of December 2023, if you're not listening to this very program, people should send it to you. They must send it to you because you will not say that you did not hear our complaint. We have complained to the international community. We have cried. We have buried our dead. We have, treated our wounded. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. And I'm telling you, they must remove these roadblocks from our streets, from our villages, from our towns, from our roads. If they do not, we, IPOB, will not be held responsible when our ancestors rise up against them. I am warning them now. In fact, I'm giving them expo. They must remove them so that our people must come home and do some soul searching and ask themselves a very hard question. Furthermore, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, since you have proved yourself unworthy of the people, you have proved yourself a nuisance, as I would say. Honestly, I'm so disappointed. World Igbo Congress. In fact, World Igbo Congress, these ones are, in fact, I don't even need to be calling them. They are just they are just only in USA making noise, making only noise. Now, the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo that goes around claiming to be something when you are nothing. You have made yourself redundant. You have made yourself completely redundant and ineffective and incapable of protecting the Igbo nation, the Igbo people, their well-being, their properties, and their means of living. You have proved incapable of doing that. Therefore, the Biafran people, we will look another way. Do you know how to deal with the zoo? We know how to deal with the zoo. That one, they bound the Igbo National Assembly. It will be resuscitated, but with a different name. Ndi Igbo National Assembly will be set up to replace the moribund, redundant Ohaneze Ndi Igbo. And those who will be the foundation of this National Assembly will be those whose interest of Ndi Igbo is topmost in their agenda. Again, I am asking Biafrans, wherever you may be in the zoo or in the diaspora, all of us must go back home. Go back home for this very Christmas time. I'm not saying just go back and stay, but that time is coming. Go back home for this very Christmas period. Why you must go back is that we are about to do something that has never been done before. In fact, it is there, but nobody is willing to actually identify it. It is there. We haven't taken it as serious as we have to take it. So you all, every one of us must go home, and the communities, each community must gather and make sure that amongst them, the oldest amongst each community must be identified. And this oldest, of course, you have the first oldest, the second to the oldest, third to the oldest. You have to identify these old, the old people in each community. They have a job to do, but that will come. This will be the community level that we have been practicing, and it has been working for us. We are going back to the community level. And those who will not take this very serious, you will be actually make your community to be behind when the time comes, because we are no longer, in fact, we are impatient to move ahead. So, and that is why I am asking, that is the reason I said that the army chief and the police chief and the other chiefs of all the security must remove their people from our road, so that our people can freely come home, enjoy their peace, and then if they want to travel back, they travel back. But meanwhile, when they come, each community must sit together and identify the oldest amongst them. The oldest amongst you who will be given responsibility at the appropriate time. The channel of communication will be there. The Igbo National Assembly will be set up. It will and must be set up. Ohaneze has disappointed more than disappointment can be made. And we cannot continue to do the same thing, even though it is bringing out failure and failure and failure. It is time to take our destiny into our own hands, and this IPOB that Nnamdi has set up, we are ready to do that. Again, many of you may remember that after the war, I'll still call it UNN, because they haven't changed their name yet, but they will change. The name change will come. The University of Nigeria and Nsukka was a center of excellence when it comes to learning. Those who went there, if you go to UNN then, apart from the same jealousy of comparison, UNN was a center of excellence. We had men. I can't remember Professor Dike. Yes, Professor Dike, the one of the first VCs of UNN. These were men who, when they were there, I think Ebo and the rest of them, they also did well. But I don't know how UNN is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how they are at the moment, but they have a responsibility also as well in our march, in the way forward to the realization of our dream. The UNN has a part to play. Remember, after the war, what the zoo did was to, they said that we had a research and development unit at UNN, which was used to manufacture whatever the Biafrans used to, prosecute the war. Are you people listening? They did not harness that intellect, those people who were able to do the unthinkable. with the little they had. No, Nigerian government did not say, okay, the war is over. Come, help Nigeria to, replicate that thing you replicated in Biafra. It was not their agenda. Their agenda was Igbo must be brought down. That is what they think about each time they go to bed is how will we bring Igbo down, not how are we going to make Nigeria to grow. That is the politicians in the zoo. That is the system in the zoo. That is the structure in the zoo. That is what the British have learned them to do, have taught them to do. The University of Nigeria and Nsukka then, yes, if they had a research and development unit that helped Biafra to produce what Western nations were producing, what stops you from saying, okay, come on, let's build let's build together, use your whatever you know how to build and develop, to make this country a good one for everybody. No. They closed down the chemical engineering faculty. They closed down the research and development institute. If you want to go, the chemical engineering, I don't think they are offering it in the UNN at the moment. They are not. Why? A university of that repute, of that caliber, they are afraid. They are afraid that the university will produce another Obunigwe for the Biafran people. Don't worry about that. The zoo must not worry about this. Therefore, the part that UN must play is that the Research and Development Institute must be resuscitated. I know they have a Research and Development Institute that deals on herbs and medicine. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about research and development, how you research on herbs. Oh, that is important. I'm not belittling it. It's important. But development of Biafra, a nation can never develop if you do not produce anything. It cannot. Onyendu calls it a rentier economy. That is what they are running. You cannot pull us down forever. It cannot happen, and it will not happen. And why I'm saying is that those in charge of UN must take note. If they do not listen, if they are not listening tonight, somebody must make this audio, this broadcast available to them. They have a responsibility in the Biafran people taking their destiny into their hand. They have a responsibility in us moving forward. Therefore, these two units, the Faculty of Chemical Engineering must be opened. If it never was there, it must be opened. And the Research and Development Institute must be reinstituted. We refuse. We refuse to be held down anymore by the zoo. If they're interested in running their Nigeria the way they want it, I can't begrudge them. Why should I begrudge them? But I am being very frank to you tonight, the 3rd of December, that the Biafran people have had, the international community must listen tonight. We have had enough, and we say enough is enough. Enough, the first assignment that we are going to carry out, and UNN must be part of this assignment. That is why I said the Research and Development Institute must be put in place. If UNN, let me make this very clear. If they, Imana, we say that the firstborn son, if you say your birthright, there are younger ones waiting and ready to take that birthright. One of the main reasons why our land and our people are running to Lagos, taking their businesses to Lagos, is because we do not have a functional seaport in Biafra land. Those, again, the friends of Biafra must listen. We have One in Iguacha, we have Warri Seaport, we have one seaport in well, not we have. There is seaport there is One Seaport, there is Warri Seaport, there is another seaport in Calabar, there is another seaport in Akwa Ibom. Do you know, friends in the international community and those listening to us, do you know that these 4 seaports in the southeast in Biafran territory, none of them is open to the public for use? It was, I think 1 or 2 of them are in the private hands. Private hands, my goodness me. Private hands. And they will now force our people, those who are doing their business in Aba, doing their business in Onitsha, in Newi, and all the places, you will import your raw materials, those manufacturing, or your goods, and you will, ship it into Apapa or Apapa in Lagos. The same Lagos, they are destroying our property. The same Lagos, they are destroying our market. The same Lagos, our people will now, import their goods in Lagos, and from Lagos, a journey to the east that will take you, all things being equal, between, I don't know how many kilometers, but let's say 4 to 5 hours, or at the most 6 hours journey. From Lagos to the marketplace where that person who imported that goods has his stall, or his shop, or his, store. There will be checkpoints, custom, as I mentioned, in our land again, custom, army, police, drug enforcement, name it, all of them. Your container must be paid. Apart, this payment that this container will be, or these importers will be paying, is different from the real government toll gate, because there are some toll gates as well in those areas. But you will pay the toll gate. But these security agencies, you have to drop with your container. If you don't drop, you cannot pass. They will even they may even seize your container and take it to the custom office, and then before you know it, they have auctioned it. Auction it to who? To a Hausa man, to a Yoruba man. My dear friends of Biafra, my dear supporters of Biafra, my dear international community, which nation, which people can continue to live in this manner for the rest of their life? Being honest, being very honest. I ask you, which people, which nation can accommodate what the Igbos, what the Biafrans have accommodated in Nigeria, despite the horrendous treatment? We had hoped that Nigeria will be a place for everyone to live and develop at their pace. That time has come and gone. That time has come and gone. Now, as I was saying, these containers will be, by the time they reach main market Onitsha or area market or Newi market, or whichever Enugu, you have maybe spent 50% of the cost. Another extra cost, 50% extra cost of what you have already spent to clear these goods, and these you have to add before you can sell these goods, making these things exorbitant, extraordinary exorbitant to our people. Are we going to continue in that form? Is anybody actually advising people to continue to sit down and watch, and then allow this generation, this race, to be destroyed economically, culturally, politically, and what have you? If you can allow your nation, your people, to go through what we are going through and then allow itself to be destroyed, we say we will not allow our people to go through what we have gone through again. And we will not allow the nation or the race that makes up the Biafran territory to be destroyed. We cannot, and we will not. Coming to the issue of the seaport, that is the first project we are going to embark upon. It reminds me of Desam Bakwe, men that had the interest of Igbo in their heart. And these like the Okibo them. Okibo who was the finest of the poets. Okibo left his comfort and went into the bush during the war. How many of these idiots that call themselves an Ezenibo and World Book Congress can leave the comfort of their place and do what people like Okibo did, and they cannot measure him half of his repute as a poet? Or is it M.I. Okpara that they can compare to? No, they cannot. Now, Ndibo, you're listening to me very carefully. This is the project of the year. This is going to be our first community project, because there's the first airport in Imo. The Imo airport that we talk about today was community project. My father contributed. Many people contributed. And therefore, we built it. That is what we are known for. It pains me that people are envying our resourcefulness, our desire to develop our land. People are envious of that. Where does that happen? We are not asking, okay, people have already said, the government of the zoo have refused to allow competition. Is competition not intrinsic with democracy? Competition is part of democracy. You have maintained that there is going to be only one port in the zoo. Now they are building a second port in Lekki, second seaport in Lekki. Why the East have none? And if you tell me it is Lagos state government that is building it, fine. I'm fine with that. The Biafran people will build our own seaport. Let me see. And I'm saying it that the zoo will hear me. And that the international community will also listen. We are not going to ask for permission. Not in this world, not tomorrow, not ever. For this very project to be built, we will not ask any permission, and we will construct it. The state it will be built upon, we know the areas where we have tributaries that are putted or are butted into the ocean. We know. We will do our homework, and how will I put it now? Anyway, we will do our homework, and the state that we have chosen that will serve the interests of the people of Biafra the most will be chosen. So that, let's even encourage this competition that is part of democracy. It is part of, let's encourage, people must not tell, because tomorrow now they will say, IPOB, you have come again. You cannot, after seeing what we have gone through and what the plan is for us, a very reasonable man on the street cannot expect. In fact, anybody who expects us to sit down and fold our hands and watch will say, these people are really a lost. They are really a lost race. They are really a stupid race. And we want to tell them, we are not a lost race and we are not a stupid race. The construction of a seaport, I am repeating it so that it can sink, and it will sink. The construction of a seaport is going to be a project that the Biafran people will embark upon, and we are embarking upon it from next year. When I mean from next year, the planning I live in Switzerland. These people, when they plan something, it may take them 5 years to plan it. It may take them 3 years to plan it. It may take them 2 years to plan, depending on what the project is. And after the planning, the implementation of that project will take maybe a quarter, or at the most half of the time they use in planning it. Therefore, we will do our homework, do the proper planning. UNN, when we come to you to give us a prototype of a modern seaport, don't tell us you have done nothing. Please, I repeat, these broadcasts must be made available to the authorities at the University of Nigeria and Nsukka. I hate to still call this name, but there is time for everything. This broadcast must be made available to them, so that when we come to them, they will not tell us they had no idea. When we come to them, the research and development institute that you're setting up, it already has a starting job to do. It already has a starting job to do. So this is why I am maintaining, and that is why I said that our people must return. They must return, because we must own ownership of what we are about to do in our land. Everybody must be part of it. Every family must be part of it. And every community must be part of it. We will come to the issue of international airports. They know, even if Enugu has been designated as international airport, no plane lands in Enugu without first going to either Kanu or Lagos or Abuja. They would take our people, and by this they make the trip to be so exorbitant, so expensive, the flight ticket to be so expensive that you even begin to wonder, does it really worth it to fly down to your homeland direct from Zurich, from California, from wherever land you may reside in at this very moment? It is part of the agenda. They have tried to politically make you useless. They know that politics actually the ordinary Igbo man is not interested in that much in politics. They are interested in their economic activities, in their businesses, in their commerce. That is what have made us with 20 pounds in 1970. That is what has made us to be I'm not saying this, out of pride, but out of the recognition that the fighting spirit of the Igbo man can never and will never be subjugated. Not while this generation is still alive. Not while IPOB is still there. That spirit of Okonkwo, when the elders refuse to do what is proper, then the youths must take their charge. I'll tell you one story. I visited one of the programs I visited in Corsica. I think it was last year or last 2 years. Corsica is also a place that they are fighting for. They had a war with the French. They are fighting for their own independence. What I saw, the way the Corsicans were, pursuing their their freedom was very impressive. One thing is that you see their elders. I was so marveled. Their elders will put their youth in front, and stand behind them. That is telling you something. It's telling you that the Igbo people say that a child that his father sends on an errand, he goes boldly to that errand because he knows that his father has sent me on that errand. That is what we thought the Johannes and the Igbo and the useless elders that we have in Biafra land and Igbo land will have been doing. They will have supported this man called Nnamdi Kanu, put him before and stand behind him, give him advice, and then support him if they are afraid to be in the front. The Corsicans, the people of Corsica, they were not actually afraid of to be in the front. Many of them were veterans of the Corsican struggle as well. But because age has come, has come up, caught up with them, they said, okay, we have our one man, his son, his children were not one. I think about, in fact, the whole family. The whole family is involved in the pursuit of their freedom. He was a veteran, and it's like when you say the second generation, the third generation are part of the struggle for their freedom. Is anything better than freedom? I ask. Give it to me and take everything else, because there's nothing better than freedom. We who live in the West, we experience it, irrespective of whatever, how do I say it now? Whatever, drawbacks you may have, you are seeing, you are in fact enjoying very, very, some very good extent, to some very good extent, you are enjoying freedom. We are enjoying freedom in the Western world. And our people in Biafra land have been, that's why many people want to run away, because it is so suffocating where they have found themselves. And we want to tell them that everyone must tighten their belt and sit up. There is going to be a new dimension in the years coming, starting with next year. We are giving the zoo until the 15th of December to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are not begging them anymore. We are giving the zoo the 15th of December to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If they fail to release him, that is their business. And I'll leave it at that. I call upon all of you Biafrans, wherever you may be tonight. Those of you who, for now or for some time, been standing on the sideline, it is the time to join this very movement so that we can together save our land and save our people. There is a reason again why I said that the oldest man in each community must be identified. And this brings me to the second assignment, or the second reason why they have to be, identified. But first of all, for 15th of December, let me check my agenda. Just give me 1 minute, please. 15th of December is Friday. Now, you have Monday, 1, 2, 3, 4. Monday, which is the 11th. Please, every Biafran in Biafra land, from 11th, which is a Monday, and in fact, every Biafran not only IPOB family members, because the more we are, the better. Every Biafran on the 11th of December 2023, you go to the market, you buy five Ojibo, 5. Abuno game, sorry. If it's going to spoil, you can buy it each day, but you must start on the 11th. The Ojibo that you're going to buy must have 4 loaves. 4 loaves means that it must have 4 parts. Now, the elder, apart from the fact that the generality of Igbos Biafrans must partake in this, the elder of each community, not in Lagos, not in California, not in New York, not in Switzerland, the elder must be on the ground and the ground zero in Biafra land. If the highest, if that elder is away, then the second in age, that is the next person who is oldest, or the third. But the person that will use this orgy, what we call egorgy, the person that will use it must be in Biafra land. And on the 11th, the first orgy you have, use it to call upon our ancestors, call upon them, and ask them that the time has come. The time of their promise, we are about to begin. After you have prayed to them and any other thing that you want to pray, you break that kola. It must have 4 lobes. Please, listen again. 4 lobes represent, first, it represents the 4 market days of Eke, Ori, Afo, Anonko, and that's where the 4 elements of nature. When you break the first orgy on 11th, don't eat the orgy, throw it to the spirit, throw it away to the ancestors. On the 12th, you repeat it. On the 13th, you repeat it. On the 14th, which is the 4th day, and the 4th, you see, you have 4 days representing the 4 market days. Your orgy must be 4 in lobes or in parts, and representing the 4 elements. You do that onto the 4th day. The 5th orgy, which is on the 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th orgy, no, I think we will start on the 10th. I beg your pardon. We'll start on the 10th so that 10th is a Sunday, Monday, 2, and the Wednesday is the 13th. Now, the 5th orgy, you will use it on the 14th. Before the 15th court date, you will use this one specifically. It may have 4 lobes or 5 lobes. It doesn't matter. But on the 14th, the same process shall be done, but specifically the prayer will be to commit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into the hands of our ancestors and to ask them to take control and take charge of the 14th. That is why I've said we are giving the zoo until the 15th. If they do not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then Chika. 15th is the day that our patience will run its course. If they do not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we have not said this before. We have not given the zoo. We have been peacefully following you, and we have not made this very, very clear statement as I'm making it tonight. IPOB, founded by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is telling the zoo that 15th of December will be the last day that our patients will run dry and our ancestors will begin their work. Nobody, please, should come to us when it began. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Nobody should come to us when it starts, when it begins, and say, please give the elders a chance. They have had their chance. Give the zoo a chance. They have had their chance. They have totally spit on our faces each time. Each time we have come out to make our voices to be heard. We are mowed down like animals on the street. The blood that is flowing in Biafra land, in fact, the ancestors are so angry because they have spilled so much blood in our land that it will require cleansing at the appropriate time. If somebody tells you that I beg your pardon. If somebody tells you that, why are you calling your ancestors? Ask him. I want to ask all of you, those who know Dr. Kanu, those who know Dr. Emmanuel Barra, those who know Desambakwe, those who know ZCOB and Chief Jerome Udoji, Professor Ben Wabeze, the rest of them, Dr. Sini, Dennis Osadibi, and the rest of them. I can't even name all of them. Those who know these people. Then those who knew our fathers that fought, that laid down their life, that sacrificed their life for you and for me, that died for Biafra. If somebody tells you that these, our ancestors are evil, what would you answer him? What people, I forgot Dr. Chino Achebe, who refused the Nigerian Merit Award and or no, whatever. I forgot people like Professor Denibo, people who fought, Dr. Pius Okibo, people who left their comfort and sacrificed for me and you. And somebody, are these not our ancestors? I want to ask all of you. People who talk about why are you calling your ancestors? Are these people, these honorable men, these very, very men of caliber, are they not our ancestors? How do you believe that they fought for, in their own life, they fought for you, they fought for me, they fought for us, they fought for their land, that in the land of the spirit, that they will now suddenly stop to fight for us? Does it make sense? It does not make sense. Therefore, we will call upon them that the battle line is about to be drawn, and we are expecting that they should be at the forefront. Why? We, their children, will follow them. I want to make a very stern warning, very, very stern warning to those who engage in criminality in Biafra land, those who impersonate ESN. IPOB will not condone or ignore these acts of disgrace anymore. We will not. I am therefore calling on communities. I'm calling on parents and those whose words are their words. I'm not talking. Whose children or those in their care are part of the criminality that is going on in Nigeria, in Biafra land, kidnappings and all form of evil that is going on. Tell them now to return home and take away the hand from the soup before it becomes the hand of a monkey. Before it becomes the hand of a monkey. Once again, when it begins, when it starts, nobody should tell us, you should stop. It's not also, we are releasing the powers that be. When it starts, we cannot call them back. Everybody has opportunity now. When the power has been released, when it starts, we will not restrain their hands until Biafra is declared a sovereign nation. If you're a criminal, go back to the farm. Go back, make yourself useful. Farming is lucrative. My goodness, I saw the tomatoes and I was like, are you kidding me? Until the woman was speaking Igbo. I said, she said, I know what part of Igbo land they were cultivating. I'm not going to, of course, it's online, but I'm not going to say it here. Those who are out of envy and jealousy again, they will find a way to go and even harass the woman and the rest of it. But I want to tell those who are engaging in criminality, it does not pay. You will end up only, dying for nothing. Go and make yourself useful. Go back to the land. The land will sustain you, and it will even give you more that will sustain you, and more that you can sell and make money out of that. The evil that is going on in our land is exceedingly great. And it is because of this that I'm making a stern warning to the one that called himself Emeka Ofo. Where is it from? Is it Orif or whatever? But Emeka Ofo, you call yourself Chief Emeka Ofo. I want to tell you, if anything happens to Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the IPOB lawyer, oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. If anything, you have gone to his house. We know we are monitoring you. I'm saying it so that you know that we are following you. We know who is coming to you. Those who are coming to you. For you and him to be planning. I'm not calling his name. He knows also. I won't call his name, but he knows. Those who are coming to you, you are planning all the, you went to Ifeanyi Ejiofor's house to arrest innocent youths, and handed them over to the police. You see them, you see those people, they will make small change and nobody will hear anything in their community anymore. Nobody. But Chukwumele Gamara, Emeka Ofo, let's hear that the barrister that is representing IPOB. Why I'm saying this is that because Barrister Ejiofor is our lawyer. Not only that he is Nnamdi Kanu's legal representative, Barrister Ejiofor has been the one making sure that innocent Biafrans, whether you are IPOB or you're not IPOB, he has been sacrificing to make sure that many of them that has been arrested and incarcerated are given the opportunity in court. If they are innocent, the judge will set them free, or the magistrate. If they are guilty, the judge will send them to prison. But I want to know, how many of them, how many of our people, what have they done? What have they done? Because it has been one success from one success to another. Because these youth, women, men, civilians, none of them has anything to do with ESN or IPOB. You go and arrest them and hand them over to the police, and you say you are an Igbo man. Let anything happen to Barrister Ejiofor, and then you will see the madness that is in IPOB. You will see the madness that is in IPOB. Again, those innocent youths that you instigated the arrest, let anything happen to them in the custody. Let something happen to them, and you need to go and get them released, and that is forthwith. We are monitoring you, and we are following you. You think anybody will come to your rescue? We know when you leave and when you come in. We know. But I'll leave it at that. Go and release those civilians, those youths you were arrested in Barrister Ejiofor's house. You people are not satisfied with cleaning his murdering in the most gruesome manner. His assistant, burning, destroying his house and his car. You're not satisfied. You're now arresting youths that come to his house because he said they are IPOB. If the IPOB, and what is IPOB? Is IPOB not a legal organization or movement? Is anything wrong with IPOB? It is the indigenous people of Biafra. Therefore, you must desist. And not only you. We know, many of you in Biafra land, the wickedness that we have been hearing and we are seeing is mind-boggling. It is beyond comprehension. You have a problem with your fellow Biafran, with your fellow Igbo man, even though you know you don't have a case. You will go to the authority, you go to the police, and you tell them, this man is IPOB. This man is ESN. Sorry, I need to take water. This man is ESN. And because they will arrest the innocent man, whether woman or man, they will arrest them. And most of the time, when we don't know, when we do not hear, that is the end. Either they are tortured to death, their organs harvested, or they stay in prison unaccounted. If their parents go to ask for them, these men will tell them they don't know where they are. One of the most harrowing stories, when the police arrested a man. This man, a young man, the father was looking for him everywhere. The police, in fact, they killed him. Of course, they killed the young man in their custody. When they killed the young man, they told the father to bring money for his bail and money for his treatment. The man is already dead. But they want to still extort money from the man. And when the man brought this money, they handed him over the corpse of his son. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And you said we should keep quiet and let our youth be destroyed in this way and make them lose hope in their own land. Our ancestors forbid, and Chukwu shall forbid that. We will not keep quiet, and we will not let that be. I am there. So people who are using ESN name to commit criminality, those who are using ESN and the IPOB to sell their people, to go to police, we are monitoring all of you. We are monitoring all of you. When we will start, don't say, people must not say, IPOB, why are you doing this? We are warning now. I never before, so but we are giving notice of the rain before it begins to fall. Because when it starts to fall, we have no control over nature, and we cannot stop the rain. People, hotel owners in Aba and others in Biafra land, our people can be mean. They are very resourceful when it comes to genuine resourcefulness, and when it comes to very negative resourcefulness. It's things you hear, you'll be wondering, but how can people be so atrociously wicked? Hotel owners in Aba, we are bringing to your attention what has been going on. The governor of Abia State has started to make Aba and Abia a little bit, accessible. And people are beginning to go to Aba, the made in Aba products to buy them. They will lodge in hotels. Some of these hotel owners who are making money from people who are lodging in their hotel, they are not satisfied. They will still go and connive with security forces when people have done their business and are now, relaxing in the evening in the hotel bars or whatever. You will see the security forces come with bosses in the night, people who are drinking, who are just spending their time and their money. You will pack everybody from the same hotel, and they will pack them. The hotel will still open. All of you who are doing that, Allah Biafra will deal with you. Allah Biafra, the land of Biafra, of course, you are part of those who shall be cleansed for us to get what we are looking for, what we are pursuing. If you do not take away, if you do not retrace your steps, you hotel owner who have made it a point of duty, or who have made it, another source of making money to sell your own, to sell your brother, the land of Biafra shall meet you at the appropriate time. Don't sabotage the Biafran struggle. Don't sabotage this very Biafran struggle. If you do, you have yourself to be, you simply have yourself to blame. You have yourself to blame. Now, finally, and I am addressing Dr. Oti of Abia State specifically, and other governors in Biafra land. And why I'm addressing Dr. Oti is that he is in charge of Abia State. It is in Abia State, law anta to be specific, that not less than 70, not 1, not 7, not 2, not 3, not 10, 70 Biafran citizens, civilians, their corpses, their decayed bodies were found in Law Panther. Ordinarily, that becomes automatically a crime scene. A crime scene, sealed until, first of all, the identities of those who their corpses, their remains were found must be identified. Their parents, their loved ones may be waiting, thinking that they are alive. They don't know. And we are here comparing like what the idiot in Anambra did at the time he was governor. What is his name again? What is his name? The one that left before Tsurudo came in. I can't remember their names but the former governor of Anambra State, he was comparing the life of a Biafra. Was it Abia State? Yeah, it was the Anambra governor. He was comparing the life of a Biafran to 500,000 and the life of a cow. He's telling us if they kill our people, they will pay 500,000. If they kill a cow, Chuka Pofoko. Now, Law Panther, doctor, please. IPOB is happy with what you are doing in Abia State. We do not have intention to have any issue with you. But Law Panther is a crime scene. A crime scene, it must be sealed off. Sealed off. Sealed off. You people must stop making the life of our people to be worthless in the eyes of outsiders. That is why they don't take any, they don't care about our lives. Is it you again? I mean, you know what is proper. Law Panther must be sealed up, and you are not making apologies and begging. You can't beg them. It's a crime has been committed there. Everybody who were, I need a water, please. Those who were in charge of Law Panther must be called into questioning. The investigation must be thorough. And those that died must be identified. Their remains must be given back to their families for proper burial. That is our way. That is our culture. And after that place, after this crime has been solved, after it has been solved, then Biafran people will decide or of course, when I mean Biafran people in Abia State, they can decide what they want to do with Law Banta. But we have said it before, Law Banta must be transformed into the biggest, most modern marketplace in the whole of Africa. Not touchers. Not when we talk about marketplace. It's not you build a house. I'm not talking about touch houses or all these lock-up stores you build. No, because we are about to show the world that that fear they had, that they don't want to see another Japan in Africa. They shouldn't be worried, because we will actually be better than Japan. So Biko Edmo, I'm saying this now in our language. Biko Dr. Governor Alex Toti of Abia State, please seal off the Law Banta, because it's a crime scene. It is a crime scene. Don't spit on the spirit or on those that have been kidnapped. These were victims of kidnaps, murder. Even many of them may have paid ransom, their families may have paid ransom, and they were still killed. How can our people be so heartless? In fact, they want to forget that matter already. And the useless cattle sellers are complaining that they go, oh, what are you complaining? You should be arrested, because you people, it is in your vicinity. You people were in charge of that place. Omandele or Jews or Kaloma, Omandele Amma in this world and in the next world. Omandele, he was the one that brought this hardship on our people. And in Kediki, something that is similar to this Law Banta is that Dr. Oti again and other states in Biafra land, stop patronizing Northerners, in the sense that we heard that you want to construct a, what do they call it again? A trailer park. Trailer park, man, for what? How many Igbo people have trailers? Is it a Dangote trailer you want to construct where they are all Fulanis into another community so that they will become a second Law Banta? Can't you people reason for once? Must we always come and tell you all these things? Can't you? Please, jettison this idea of trailer park. No, Dangote is the richest African, is he not? If he wants a park, he should come and buy land and create a park. And when you want to buy a land to create a park, we, of course, it is happening in civilized world. Every company, trailer or company that runs transportation company, you have your own where you park your lorries, your trailers. You have it. It's not the duty of the government to provide that for you. The people, our people who are doing what do you call it again? Transportation with buses and the rest of it. The parks they have, is it not their private parks? Why must we always be patronizing in our attitude? So that people will say we are good, and your people are in Lagos, they are destroying their property. I will leave this program as it is for now. I want to reiterate that our people must be prepared to support ESN. This is our last line of defense. ESN is not, it is only a defensive in the sense of a protective outfit to protect our land. It is not a defense, an offensive outfit that is, ready to fight anybody in battle or whatever. No, we know what is in our land. We are calling upon them to now arise. IPOB has, whenever I come, I tell you that we have been called to rebuild the broken places and the broken wall. Many of you do not understand. But we know the duty that is assigned to us. We have come to rebuild that which was destroyed. And if you stand on the way of this process, sorry shall be your name. May Chukwu Okike be with all of you. And may you in your respective units, family units, IPOB family units, zones, and countries, may you continue to grow in wisdom, in common sense, not in emotion. And please, the youths must go back to the land. We must feed ourselves. We must take farming as if our life depends on it. And of course, our life depends on it. Do not forget, the Igoji, it will start on the 10th of December. You have to get 5 kola nuts. Oji is kola nut in Oyibo, in English language. You have to get, if you can buy it, hopefully if you buy 5, it doesn't spoil, fine. But if you think it will spoil. Each day from the 10th, go and buy 1 Oji with 4 lobes. Look at it. It will show you it has 4 lobes. Use it for the first Oji on the first day of 10th Sunday, 11th on Monday, 12th on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, which is the 3rd. The 4 kola nuts with 4 lobes each will have been, you will have, don't eat this Oji. It's not yours, so it belongs to ancestors. Call upon them and give it to them. On the 14th, 1 will be dedicated for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for his freedom and for the freedom of Biafra. May Chukwu Abiyama be our strength. May Chukwu Abiyama be our help. May our ancestors continue to guide us. And may victory be ours in the nearest future. In Chukwu Okike Abiyama's name, I have prayed. And from here, I want to say good night and stay well. Thank you so much for listening.